Hello everybody, this is Toys R Us and welcome to another edition of What's Happening Wednesday. This is a weekly roundup show that I like to do on this channel, which again gives me the perfect opportunity to do exactly that. Keep you guys updated with things that fang on in the world of Transformers. I'll let you know what's happening with this YouTube channel and of course my Instagram, which is Toys_R_Us. We're going to kick off with something that I pretty much always do as soon as they put this up out there for everybody to read, and especially for people who haven't got Instagram. This is behind the scenes again of a figure from Mark Maher. So if you haven't got Instagram, you can head to TFW 2005 where he's given his insights there onto the new, obviously the newly revealed strong arm figure coming up in the Legacy Evolution toy line. And again, I typically don't actually own the original of this figure, and I'm trying to get hold of one now on eBay, but I don't really want to pay over the odds for it. But of course, with this new interest, that's exactly going to do that. It's going to jack the prices up, but I will get one of these as soon as possible, the original, sorry, to do a video and indeed have her ready for when the new one comes out. There you can see she is posing with Alita, because for those of you who listen to the fan stream, or for those of you who don't know, she is of course a partial, there you can just about tell, from the Alita 1 mold. So really excited to get this figure and just see how good it is in hand, as I say, while I search for the original at the same time. There we are again with the blast effects. We all know how much Mark loves the blast effects. Right, there we go. So we've got the last couple of pictures on here. As I say, normally these are on his Instagram weekly, but if they're not, you can find them on TFW 2005. This is another competition for Rise of the Beasts, and it's by Gravistar, and these specialise, I'm just reading obviously because I've never heard of these, in futuristic sci-fi chargers, speakers and earbuds. Basically, you can enter a competition. Unfortunately, again, you need to go on Instagram. It's one of them competitions where you've got to be following them, liking and sharing an Instagram post and tagging 2 friends. So these look really interesting, to be honest. That's what you can win. You can win, as I say, by going to their Instagram. All the details, once again, are here on TFW 2005. And they look pretty good, to be fair. They do look kind of cool and indeed very original. Right, moving on. This is, of course, the new comic that we're getting loads and loads of teasers constantly at the moment, which I think is brilliant. So Skybound have been teasing, I suppose, it looks like it's going to be the Order, but please correct me if I'm totally wrong. They started off obviously with Optimus Prime, and obviously said there were the silhouettes coming up behind it. I'm pretty sure it was Optimus Prime, but we now know that we're going to be getting Optimus Prime, RC, Wheeljack, Cliff Jumper and Ratchet. Skybound has stated they will reveal the Decepticon lineup for the book next week, and stay tuned to find out who's on that list. So this is brilliant. I love the fact they're doing this. The comic seems to be going from strength to strength, which, let's be honest, I think a lot of us did worry. Even though I didn't read them, but I'm going to start reading them now, but lots of people in the fandom, I just had to get that in before somebody says to me, you've not read them, which is true. But I know, and I speak to lots of people in the fandom who were really concerned, obviously, with them losing IDW. But also, as I say, this just seems to be really, really strong information. And I've heard nothing but good news coming from anybody who's read it, and of course the way that these look to be going, so it's brilliant news. This again is something that's just crazy. I'm going to come back and read that in a second. This is probably the oddest take on Optimus Prime I think I've ever seen, an American football player. So Optimus Prime really can be anything. He's been a duck recently, he's been absolutely everything, hasn't he? But this says Hasbro and ZCWO have joined forces to create one-of-a-kind designer figures based off Transformer character franchise. The first design that will be produced is based on the protagonist Optimus Prime and was created in collaboration with the Fool's Paradise design team. They perfectly fuse Transformers Optimus Prime with elements of a football player, creating an all-round unique figure. Approximately 410mm in height, vinyl PVC. And it just, as I say, it just makes me laugh because there really is something for everybody. You've obviously got the Bishuji, which is the anime girls. You've got an American football player. There's a bit of a teaser of that's got to be Megatron, Starscream, Bumblebee and Soundwave. It's got to be. It's really funny how all companies, well, I think everybody, let's be honest, this must be the top 5. That's why they always are the ones that we see the most of. But as I was saying, it's so crazy now how you can literally have, we've had him as a potato, obviously Optimus Prime. As I said, he was a duck not so long ago. I love that, because that's a little bit more like Peter Cullen with the moustache. But you really can get Optimus Prime in all shapes, sizes and forms. So as I get more information on that, I will of course let you know. Okay, Prime One Studios. Now this is another statue making company. They're relative. I don't think they're relatively new as in brand new, but they're new compared to, I think, the other statues that we've seen. They did some amazing ones which we previewed at the last SDCC, I think, but this is their new Rise of the Beast Optimus Primal statue. Now again, you'll have to excuse the glare. The information and the images of this are all over the internet and indeed on Prime One's Studios website. This is of course the Maximal badge, and there, if you can make it out, I'm going to zoom in a second with some other images. You've got Optimus Primal in robot mode standing on Optimus Primal in primate mode, with an amazing background, an amazing base, highly detailed. Once again, guys, these are statues, not transforming figures, not even action figures. And again, you probably want to check out the images without the glare at the usual forums, T-Formers and TFW 2005. But I know for people who collect statues, they look spectacular. Moving on to something else that I always feature on here because the website is sensational. It is the Sunbow Marvel Archive website, and what we've got here, they put details up on the storyboard of the G1 episode Aerial Assault. So for those of you unaware of this website, it's exactly that. Look, it's the old archives to not just Transformers, to all of the Marvel and Sunbow cartoons that were made in the 80s. They are slowly updating new storyboards, not just storyboards, as I say, visual pictorials, loads of behind the scenes things, and there's just too much, I suppose, for me to cover. I just want to point you in their direction because it is very, very easy to lose half a day or so on there, reminding yourself of the great times you had watching these episodes. And if you've never seen them, it's also brilliant to go and see the thought processes behind them and indeed how they were made. Now, I have put this next bit in, and I know it's me. That's the other thing that seems to be all over the news at the moment. That was my interview that hopefully you've seen, but if you haven't, and the reason why I put it here is for anybody who's new to the channel, I did do an interview, again, very lucky, with BMAC and Delaney, and the main purpose of putting it in here is just to thank them once again for their time. It was a great time. It was really, again, so much fun talking to them like that. Hopefully it comes across, because from the time that I speak to anybody from Hasbro, which, you know, it's not all the time, it's just via their social media channels that they've got, the same as people contact me. They do have a love for the brand, they do obviously care, and it's just really good that they come across like that as fans, which we all are. And as I say, I thank them once again for the opportunity to ask them a load of questions that thankfully a lot of you guys wanted the answers to as well. I've had so many private messages on Instagram saying thanks very much, that's exactly what I wanted to know. So yeah, if you've not seen it, check it out. Hopefully there's some information there that you want or you will find useful as well, because it was quite in depth. And you know, I suppose the biggest thing we can take from it is we better start saving, because there's going to be a new HasLab coming towards the end of the year. Right, moving on to third party. This is Newage's take on Sludge H56 Raidosaurus. I hope I pronounced that correct. This is incredible. For those of you who don't know, these are legend scale figures, so they're smaller. They're just a little bit bigger than the standard Hasbro core class. This is, of course, their take on a Generation 1 Sludge. And exactly that, he looks spectacular. It's probably one that I will be getting pre-ordered myself, just to have a look at them. And again, just to see the detail that goes into them. The legs look a little bit better than the Grimlock. I know with the Grimlock there was loads of things and parts showing. They've hopefully seemed to have sorted that out. And as always, they come with quite a few accessories. They've got the googly eyes, they've got this extra hands. And again, this is a new figure for them. And there's a brilliant actual promotional image from Newage themselves. Right, moving on to Matrix Workshops. I always like to feature these as well because they're upgrade kits. I've gone and ordered my first ever Matrix Workshop upgrade kit. It is the Samurai kit for Prowl. These are upgrades to the Gamer Edition figures that I've got on pre-order. So this is an upgrade kit for your Optimus Prime figure. There you can see it in hand. There's the axe, and indeed there is the new blaster. And again, these are third-party companies making kits for your official Hasbro and Takara released figures. There's a sword and a blaster for Bumblebee. And again, there you can see them with both. And indeed, we're moving on right now. Oh, haven't I got, oh no, I think I've got, yes I will, I've got Lockdown in another video to go with something else. Moving on to, this is again from Takara Tomy. So we all know the Hoist is coming out, and rather than having a look at some grainy pictures of the actual figure that have been on show. And again, awfully pictured on here. I completely hold my hands up with that. That's a bit hypocritical. But if you go to Takara Tomi's website, they've uploaded a video and you can see Hoist in lots more detail without the reflection like this, fully posable. And again, a very, very detailed video on this figure that I'm really excited for, because I've got the Trailbreaker figure. I thought it was spectacular. This guy they seem to have improved on. And what I mean by that is the midsection on him, he seems to be really sort of trim. There doesn't seem to be any gaps. Everything seems to just look really, really good. I mean, look, that's what I mean. There's a side profile. So it looks like they've improved on that little bit of a gap that Trailbreaker had. So again, I think I'm gonna have to pre-order that as well. There's the accessories that come with him. He is available for pre-order on most places, but I would suggest and recommend you checking out Takara Tomi's official video reveal on the product yourself if you want to see it in more detail. Okay, now moving on to more third party, I think. Yep, this is Dr. Wu. This is taken from Dr. Wu's Instagram. I've just put up their Shattered Glass Cosmos and indeed G2 Ramjet. I seem to have gone all in on Dr. Wu at the moment, just because they remind me so much of the WST line, which was the official Takara's world's smallest Transformers. I love them. They're small, they're intricate, they're fun. And this is the set that is currently winging its way to me. This is normal Deco Cosmos and of course normal Ramjet. They of course, for obvious reasons, haven't called them that by their names. I am just referring to them by their Hasbro and Takara names. So I'll be reviewing these very soon. I've just finished the video on their take on Dirge and Thrust. I've just got to squeeze that in at some point. I'll mention a bit more about that in a second. And if you go to Magic Squares Weibo, there's a video of the 3 Constructicons they've released so far. And indeed, there's some more images of their take on Farak and Cyclonus, which funnily enough, I've just had confirmation that Farak is in the post as well. So, for those of you who are new to third party, like me, or if you're wondering where I always get them from, here is just some screenshots from the Shozy website. There is Sludge available for pre-order already. There's the Pengu Toys take on Shattered Glass Omega Supreme. There's so many figures on here. There's again Shattered Glass Ultra Magnus from Dr. Wu. There's official products on here as well. There's Masterpiece Cayenne, there's Masterpiece Hoist. There's so much on here, guys. They've got a flash sale as well all the time. Keep your eyes on these. There's the official, obviously, Bishuju anime statues. What all I will say is, and ask huge favors, if you do go to Shozy, there is a bar at the top which says support your favorite reviewer. If you pop Toys R Us, all one word in there, that will greatly help me out. And it gives me enough information on where I should be taking the videos with regards to this channel. So that concludes part 1 of the news. With regards to the videos coming up, I've got loads queued up. I've got some Rise of the Beast ones from the Hasbro box they sent me. I've got some other Rise of the Beast ones. I've got some Earth Spark flip changes. I've got Newage Clear Magnus. I've got the Dr. Wu figures, I said. I've got the X-Transbots trailer for Menasor. Even though I've got none of the other figures, I can still do a video on the base. I'm just trying to keep up with everything. And again, as you can probably tell by my face, I'm just still absolutely loving it. I'm really glad to be able to now put so much different content out, because I know the Transformers fandom and world is huge. And I appreciate that not everybody's going to watch every single video that I do, and I totally understand that, and that's what I said in the last live stream. There's too many genres, there's too many official toy lines, never mind the third-party toy lines. I just feel very lucky to be sat where I am doing these videos for you guys. So a huge thank you for the support. It really does mean a lot. Thank you very much, guys. Take care.